Well, here we go. If you're anything like me and just absolutely hate technology, then wow, you have a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging out. This is an interesting Monday, as there's a lot of things going on in the world that Rob and I will be talking about on Russell and Hunter. But there's Olympic stuff going on. And I know a few of you don't like when I talk about the Olympics. There's a lot of cool outdoor sports in the Olympics. I want to share this. And no, it's not the guy that went over the pole vaulter that his manhood ruined his chance at gold. Yeah, look that one up. I'm not going to replay that one for you. No, but our FAFO Friday this Friday is going to be a entire day of Olympic fails. Fantastic. Let's get to this one. Amber, this is actually a tragic story because I told you that watching skeet and trap is really cool. It's just fun to watch. And it's really sad when it goes wrong. And this is what I mean by this, because this is Great Britain female trap and skeet. And this woman for Great Britain had hit 55 of 60 targets. Now let's just stop there. 55 of 60 targets blows me away. That is fantastic, because when we go to Ben Avery and shoot in the sporting clays, even trap or skeet, we do okay. You do all right. You feel good, but at the end of the day, you're like, all right, I shot well today. I didn't really shoot well. 55 out of 60 targets is just stupid. It is absolutely obnoxious. And this 26-year-old, her name is Francisca Crovetto from Chile. She is just gave birth 4 months ago, and she won a silver medal. Now, I'm not saying she would have won the gold medal had this not happened, but she won a silver medal 4 months after giving birth. What a champion. What an awesome thing to see. They said she missed a clay. Replay showed she did not miss the clay. So this was in a kind of a shoot-off situation. She would have won potentially. She would have won because it changes the entire psyche of the person she's competing against. If she says, okay, if I hit this, I win. Not if I hit this, I'm just going to still compete and stay alive in the competition in the shoot-off. She knew that Francisca. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Francisca is the one that she was up against. See, this is why you guys need to remind me to wear my glasses. Holy mackerel! I'm telling you. Yes, Olympics, Lynn. For the love of grief, my man. We're talking because this is a big thing. So hold on. So let's get back to this here. Okay, so that's right. There we go. So she was up against. So Rudder is her name. Her last name is Rudder. Amber Rudder. And she said it was a dream to come away with an Olympic silver medal despite kind of getting hosed. So let me explain what happens here. It's something called dusting. And you know you did. If you've done sporting clays or skeeter trap, you know when you hit it, you're like, no, I hit that. It just didn't break. If you hit the clay in the middle, it breaks, it shatters. It's a wonderful thing to see. It's really, really cool. But there's some time that one of your shotgun pellets, just these little tiny little guys, goes through the clay and doesn't break it, but it goes through the clay, and you just see this little puff of dust. And it's called dusting. This is what happened to Amber Rudder. She dusted one, and by the way, and if that were a bird, it'd be a dead bird. But she dusted the clay; it didn't shatter. They did not give her credit for it. And therefore, the person that got up, I'm sorry, that was Chile's Francesca Crovetto. She got up and absolutely shattered the next one, and she wins because it was a shoot-off. So the thing that's really terrible about this is they don't have what we have in the NFL, MLB. You can't really like raise your hand and say, I want a replay on that, which we should have, especially now that this comes through. So I think that something good can come of this, hopefully, in the IOC finds the error of their ways and says, you know, in sports like this, where we're dealing with just little tiny fractions of anything, that we can have replay. And I'm even talking about maybe in like gymnastics too, when they knock somebody for their little pinky toe was off of that line or the mat or something like that. Oh, it's a 10% deduction. I should be able to throw a flag and be like, replay. I did not step out. Same thing here. I think replay should be in everything. I do. I don't think, just so we're very, very clear, I don't think that any activity with a judge is a sport. I'm sorry, it's not a sport. There's very athletic people, just amazing athletes. Look at Simone Biles. Simone Biles is probably the best athlete in the United States. She's probably the most well-known, most athletic, piece of awesomeness that the United States has seen in a hot minute. I don't think gymnastics is a sport. It's because it's subjective. You know, it's basically, oh, I know that woman did three backflips on a little thing that's as big as my belt, but she bobbled a little bit when she did that. Oh, a point deduction. I don't think that's a sport. That's just me. I don't think it's a sport. Clay's sport. So it should have a replay. We need to throw the flag and replay on that. And, oh, she actually did hit it. Okay, so let's go on to the next round of the shoot-off, and we're good. I think it's a bad look for shooting sports and a great look and a great advertisement for replay in the next Olympics. We'll put it that way. There we go. They kind of get hosed, but she had a best attitude in the world. She had a new baby out there, 4-month-old, and she was like, I want a silver. This is fantastic. Yeah. Because, again, it wouldn't have guaranteed her a gold, but it would have guaranteed her another shot, no pun intended, to actually to win the gold. So that was a big thing. It's bleeping hot out there. Holy mackerel. My goodness. Had a birthday party over the weekend. Big shout out and a happy birthday to Ellie. And just getting the food, I was drenched. Just walking from the place to the truck and back. It was absolutely absurd out there. It's muggy. It's gross. It is. So act accordingly, people. I really cannot impress upon you enough to tell all of your friends, it's hot out there. You said you're going what? You're going hiking? Okay. You're going to the Verrado Steps? What are you talking about? It's 100 billion degrees outside. It's time to make sure that our friends are not being absolutely stupid. Here are people that are being absolutely stupid. And I'm sorry, this is a national publication that I'm reading this from. Ready for this? It is sad. It's awful. It's horrible because they got to put the word dad in there. 69-year-old dad collapses and dies on Arizona trail. What you think? Look, if you're right up, if you're bordering 70, why are we allowing any one of our people to do this? Look, there is a window, be it a small window in Arizona, where outdoor activities are a pain in the butt. They're not easy. You gotta want it, but you have to be smart, but you have to be on your game. According to USA Today, the man collapsed about a half mile from the trailhead. So he went all the way out, came all the way back. Cell service was poor, making calls for help difficult. The family performed CPR, but to no avail. Search and rescue teams eventually made their way to the remote Arizona trail. Once on site, they were able to remove the body, which was taken to medical examiner's office. According to Yavapai, so we know where we're at now, Yavapai Sheriff's Department, the man's daughter reported that they had been at a nearby swimming hole that day. Wait, did somebody say the 70s called and wants their expression back? The swimming hole? Who does? Anyway, they've been in a swimming hole that day. The tragedy occurred upon Parsons Trail in Clarksdale, Arizona, which is about 85 miles from popular Sedona, Arizona. While the man's name has not yet been publicly released, the police confirmed that dehydration and high blood pressure were likely to blame for his death. I am not celebrating this. I am merely using this as an example. People, come on. Why in the world are you not overhydrating at this point? Not overhydrating. You can't overhydrate, but why are you not hyperhydrating right now? I mean, for anything. I can imagine the amount of fluids that I lost just going back and forth the truck to the restaurant, and pulling out all this catering stuff. And I'm sweating. I'm going into the restaurant's bathroom. I'm like toweling myself off. We had a Wildlife for Tomorrow strategic planning meeting over the weekend as well at Arizona Game and Fish Department, your Arizona Game and Fish Department. And I was pulling in coolers and stuff from the truck, drenched. I can only imagine if I was on a hike at that time. Look, and I'm not poking fun at this man. It's tragic he died, but this damn near suicidal if you're going out there without proper hydration in 110, 112 degrees. And then you put humidity on top of that. Y'all, this isn't something we should play around with. Holy, I mean, and by the way, to let your people go out. You know what Dale, I'm going to say his name's Dave. That's what we're going to name him. We're going to name him Dave. His name hasn't been released. Dave goes out. His daughter was with him. What the hell? Dad, drink now. If intern Beans said that to me, I would be chugging water. Or if she calls me by my name. When your daughter calls you by your name, Michael, I'm like, whoa, okay. All right, I'm drinking. I'm out of water. Then turn your ass around. I don't even understand it. I don't get it. It's like going out on an Arizona trail in August, even in July, going out on an Arizona trail in August or July is like going 60, 100 feet down in the ocean without a regulator and a BC and a tank. You're not going to fare well down there. You're not going to fare well on this trail. And that's not even the end of it. Okay, so how about this? Okay, wait, there we go. 13 people rescued on Arizona trail after temps hit triple digits. Are you bleeping kidding me? These are two separate publications that I frequent for show prep and ideas and all of that. 13 people rescued on Arizona trail because of high temps. Scottsdale family reunion. Scottsdale family reunion turned troublesome when high temperatures forced to rescue 13 individuals from a hiking trail. Last week, 13 family members went for a morning hike in the Gateway Loop Trail, according to the New York Post. Okay. The group hit the trail around 7:30 a.m. Sorry. In an effort to beat the heat. Are you bleeping kidding me? 3 children were hospitalized. Now we got to talk about it. Now I'm getting fired up because I want to talk about this. So every morning I take my buddy Sabbath. I take him on a little walk. And the walk consists of, because he's an old black lab. Okay. So the walk consists of leaving the garage and going to the green belt and halfway down the green belt and then turning around and coming back. It's a quick little 5 to 10 minute little thing, right? And if it is after 7 a.m., it's miserable. I hate it. I don't want to do it. He's walking on grass, so he's fine. He doesn't care, but he's got this big black coat. He can't be comfortable. I was wearing a black shirt this morning, this very shirt. I was like, this is a bad idea. This is awful. A Scottsdale family reunion. This had to have been somebody moving in from out of town and saying, okay, everybody come on out. Arizona's beautiful. Man. Now, okay, so Lynn brings up a good point, and I want to talk about that. Local Boone and Crockett. Really, a black bear, Jim? Oh, we can talk about this. All right, I'm going to look that up, okay? Good friend. Actually, all right. Went on a solo hike last year, cramped up and had to sleep on the top of the mountain because he couldn't walk down the next morning. That's right, Brendan. It's come on. Like, if I walk to my car, intern Beans and I got in the truck going to Ellie's birthday party. We actually got in the truck and we're just miserable. And I was like, why didn't we take your car? It's in the garage, but my truck's in the driveway and we're just soaking. AC's just blowing as can be. We're rolling down the windows because it's actually cooler outside than it is here. So how can you leave your house and go, you know what, we're good. Yeah, we're good. It should be a hike. It's going to be a great hike. You guys are going to love this. 7:30 in the morning. Like, isn't it a little hot? Nope. No, it's not hot. Let's go. You got it. And if 3 children are hospitalized, I'm talking legal action at that point. Why would you take your kids? What in the anyway? So Lynn brings up a good point. So Lynn says this. So he said, make them pay for the rescue, like the dumb motors law. That is not a bad idea, but I get pushback from my buddy Rob on this, the Captain Libertarian himself, and says, look, we pay taxes to pay for these kinds of things. So why would I have to pay more if I've already paid taxes for those types of things? Right? I have been a proponent of exactly what Lynn said. And Jim agrees with Lynn. And I'm sorry, because you can't see that Lynn says he's on YouTube. So I agree with Lynn. He said he also saw lots of heat injuries in the middle. There we go. In the Middle East, even with the army guys, people have no respect for 100 degrees and 6% humidity. Zero respect. And I don't know. It might be because I have had heat stroke before, that I'm sensitive to it. That I'm just not more sensitive, but more in tune to it. That I think this is not right. This is not right for our bodies. This is not right. I'm trying to get in some sort of shape for Havasupai next month, and I'm thinking, how do I do that? It's hotter than Satan's you know what out there. Yeah. So but there's just no excuse for this. A Scottsdale family reunion, you really take your entire family out there. That's a bunch of BS. You should be held accountable for that. I'm sorry. If there's a parent that takes their child on a hike in 100+ degrees in Arizona and the kid is hospitalized, the parents have got to be held accountable for that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Jim is saying the heat injuries and frost injuries are kind of the same difference. I don't know. Because let's talk about like frostbite and stuff like that. You whack your finger, done. Now you have 9 fingers because this one had frostbite, or you lose your fingertips or something like that. I don't know if that changes the changes your physical makeup. Where I think heat stroke does. Where I think that the dehydrating and having to be rescued because you're completely dehydrated, I think that changes something in you, right? And child endangerment, right, Brendan? I think that's what it is. Jim, I want to know about that. If you have some info on it, please share that with us. I would love that. But he said that heat injuries and in frost injuries are the kind of the same difference. Maybe, but good thing we don't have to really worry about that here in Zona. But the cool part about it is that we do understand that we have one not natural disaster, natural phenomena that happens with our monsoons, so that we get the heat plus the humidity that just sucks moisture out of you. Just it's the worst. So we understand. And I didn't even know, by the way, I didn't know that the iPhone did little eye weather, whatever the hell it is. It'll show you UV index, and it's been getting up to like 11, y'all. That's like I'm gonna go outside for 2 minutes and be sunburned, especially the pasty dudes like me. Yeah. Yeah, Lynn says he's been hospitalized twice. So, Lynn, you've got to be more sensitive to it when you go out now. After that, go, okay, this is, I know my limits, and this is one of them. 80 below to 138 plus. Geez, Jim, 80 below? What are you on Everest? What do we need to talk? Dude, seriously, where were you? Were you in Nepal? That is wild. 80 below zero. Not for daddy. No, that's why I live in Arizona. Because I hate being cold. I hate it. Yeah, that's just absolutely, that's mind blowing. 138. Okay, so when we went to the canyon last weekend, when we were at the bottom of the canyon, they were claiming, and I didn't have the temp, I couldn't read it out, but they were saying the bottom of the canyon hit 130 several times. And they were saying that it was 130 that day when we were down there, but we were getting sprayed with water the whole time we were moving. It just seemed a lot cooler than it was. But I got to tell you, yeah, we have a few interesting burn and tan lines. No, buddy, I'm sorry. Lynn said he can't even go shopping. I seriously, yeah. A lot of people taking their families, including my girlfriend, to the Tanger outlets here in the West Valley, and maybe in Scottsdale, the Scottsdale Quarter, for back to school shopping. Why do we have outdoor malls in Arizona? What the hell is that about? We don't need it. We don't need it. Even when it's beautiful outside, I'd like to go shopping in a nice environment. And forget that noise. Can't believe people do that. Yeah. Kind of mind blowing there, but yeah. So let's get to this because we are talking about we did talk about a little bit about shooting sports. Here's an interesting deal. Obviously, okay. So the recap of that is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. This is Murphy's Law. What did Becky say? Murphy's Law. What you talking about, Willis? Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law that when you go out and try to do something to get super hot. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll wait for the response on that. One of the biggest brewing debates in shooting sports, especially in bird hunting and waterfowl, is lead versus steel. Okay. So for those that don't know, there's two types of shotgun ammunition. There's steel ammunition, there's lead ammunition. Lead ammunition obviously is a lot less expensive than steel. There are certain migratory birds like duck that you can only use steel by law. By federal law, you can only use steel. And it's more expensive. So therefore, duck hunting is more expensive than dove hunting. Not really. I go through a lot more ammo in dove hunting, but you know what I'm saying. You give it per round, okay? Per trigger pull. So here's the reason why lead is no bueno. Because I follow not the science, I follow the scientists. That is my buddy John Odell, who was the small game biologist for your Arizona Game and Fish Department for a hot minute. Now he's a small game chef, and he's just a badass. He hates lead. He goes, this is why lead is bad. And he ran me down this whole course of how, okay, so if I am, it kind of seems backwards to me because if I'm duck hunting, if I shoot 5 ducks, I have 5 ducks in the blind with me. I take 5 ducks home. If I'm dove hunting, if I shoot 15 dove, I'm probably coming back with 13 or 14 dove. Because eventually some would just, kind of go, you just can't find them. And you're like, oh, man. So if you're shooting with lead and then there's lead shot in that bird, the predator comes along, the coyote, the whatever, and they eat the bird, and now they've ingested lead. And that's bad. And on top of that, so let's say that 2 of the 150 pellets that are in your shotgun shell hit the bird and you're good, and then they drop. But then what happens to the other 100 something little things of lead that is going out and now just going to get watered into the groundwater in the entire system? Mm-hmm. Yes. You'd rather accidentally eat a steel pellet. That's right. Because you accidentally eat a lead pellet, it's no bueno. So I get the argument. I get it. Okay, so Becky answered this. Okay, so Murphy's Law also applies to the outdoors. Things go from bad to worse and quickly in the summer heat. Amen, my woman. Amen. That's right. Because they go to bad worse. And once I did learn this from Bear Grylls long time ago when Man versus Wild was actually a good show. Now he's got celebrities on it. It's all a bunch of craziness. But he said, once you're thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. That's your body's alarm going off and like, give me water. So when Becky says things can go bad to worse and quickly in the summer heat, that's what it means. Like, oh yeah, you know what? I should probably be drinking some water. Oh, I'm super thirsty. You're already behind the ball. So you need to just get after it after that and just get as much water in you as you can. Mm-hmm. All right. So Lynn says, what if 2 scientists disagree on the same subject? And okay. But I don't think you'd get a lot of argument that ingesting lead is bad. And but to me, I'm like, I want to buy lead shot because it's so much cheaper. It's less expensive. And I can get the same results as I do with steel. But in some waterfowl, I can't do that. I'm sorry, migratory birds, I can't do that. But I think it's just backwards. Like, why shouldn't you mandate steel for something that you might lose and it might, be eaten by another animal versus something like a duck or a goose where I ain't losing that. That's right there. As a matter of fact, I got a dog to go get it. Oh, wish we would have taught Sab that. But there would have been a 100% retrieval rate. But again, it is the pellets that get past your target that go into the water, go into the streams, go into lakes. Now you have lead, and I understand that. So the reason why I bring this up was it was a fantastic article that I saw. This is pretty cool because I'm not a fan of banning things. In America, if you want Americans, you want we the people to not do what you want, you either tell them they have to do it, like that, or tell them you can't do it. Ooh, we really, really don't like that. So instead of banning lead outright, federal agencies are trying to pay hunters to use steel shot instead of lead near certain wildlife refuges. This is fantastic. Under a pilot program, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service will offer rebates to hunters who voluntarily make the switch to non-lead ammo on 7 of the national wildlife refuges. How awesome is that? That makes nothing but sense to me. If I can, even if it's a tax break, even if it's worked through the IRS, that say the maybe U.S. Fish and Wildlife or the EPA works with the IRS and says, hey, listen, if anybody gives you a receipt for steel ammo, they get some sort of a tax break on that. It's a write-off or whatever it is, and that encourages us to use steel because in our heart of hearts, we understand steel is better for everything than lead, but lead is wildly less expensive. So there's kind of a give and take right there. There's pros and cons of both sides. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is to me at least. To me, I use a lot of lead ammo. When I go to bed every, I use lead ammo. I'm not gonna use steel ammo out there. This is like throwing money away, especially the way I shoot. And going back to dusting, as we said earlier, and now that I know that that my lady is listening to the show, she says that every time. Oh, I dusted it. I got it. I dusted. She doesn't say that. Actually, I say that all the time. Day 1 of outdoor survival class. Whoa, what? Wait. What are you talking about here, brother? Day 1 of outdoor survival class. ASU offers what? Search and rescue training. Told everyone to never do anything we have seen on Man vs. Wild. Why not? Oh, come on. That's funny. That's I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that too, Jim. It reward the ammo makers for steel and reducing the price. I think that's a fantastic idea as well. That's a really, really good idea. Mm-hmm. Good. That's right, Lynn. It's got to be U.S. steel. You're darn right it does. But we know in our heart of hearts, steel's better for the environment. Steel's better for everything. Lead is dangerous, but it comes down to economics. And if you're watching the stock market today, you're like, I'm going to do lead for another year at least. Yeah, but I do like that. I think reward the ammo manufacturers, give them the tax break to manufacture mostly steel, bring the price down, and then I think we have a good shot at it. I really do. A good shot at it. You see what I did there? I did. Let's do this again tomorrow. Happy Monday, everybody. I just rolled right into this thing. Let's do this tomorrow. All right. At 11 o'clock. Every day we do this. Share this out. Like this. Let your friends know that we just have a fun outdoor chat every day at 11. I appreciate all you being with me and playing along right here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Have a great